Good morning, everyone. Welcome to HashLearn. My name is Tariq. I'll be taking a class for English challenge questions on grammar today. In this class, we'll be taking you through some number of questions of grammar from the previous papers of different aptitude tests, and we'll be seeing what are the solutions for those questions. So keep your pen and paper handy with you. Note down the questions whenever you find them. Something is wrong, or if you learn something new, take down notes in the class so that you can then revise through it. So it's very important that you always keep a pen and paper handy. And when you're watching a live class, it's important that you always take it as an actual class itself. Okay, so we'll start with the first question. This will be the first session for today. Then we'll be doing two more sessions on English in the remaining part of the day. So the first question is here on the screen for you. Look at the question. I'll give you some time to solve, and this question is spot the error question from grammar. So we have a question which is having four parts. A is the one part, then we have B and C, and the fourth one should be D actually. Okay, so you have to find out which part of the sentence is incorrect, and you have to post that part in the comment section. So while watching the video, you can post the answer in the comment section. For example, if you feel that the answer for this question is A, that A is the one which is wrong, then you can post A in the comment section. If you feel B is incorrect, then you can post B in the comment section, and so on. If you think C is wrong, then you can post C. If you feel that there is no error in the question, you can post D as your answer, that there is no error. So look at the question once and post the answer for this question. The question is, if she will go abroad next year, we will have the house to ourselves. So is the answer A, B or C? What will be the right answer for this question? Which part of the sentence is grammatically incorrect? So use the basic rules of grammar that you have seen in the previous classes of ours, and using that, tell the answer for this question. Okay, so let's see the answer for this question. The rule that is here is based on the if clause. Whenever we have an if clause with something here and followed by another clause after this, we cannot have two wills in a sentence. What we should keep in mind is that we cannot have two wills in a sentence like this, So for example, if she will go abroad next year, we will have the house to ourselves. The will part will only be in the second part of the sentence, not in the first part. This is called as the first conditional sentence. So different types of conditionals are there in English language, and the first conditional is of this format. So the first part of the sentence should not contain will. The right form should be, if she, this go is also wrong. The correct form should be, if she goes abroad. If she goes abroad next year, we will have the house to ourselves. That is the correct format of a sentence with an if clause. For example, if we can say that if India wins the match. Look at the first part of the sentence. It is in simple present tense. If India wins the match, now this is the first part of the sentence, the if clause. Then we say we will party. So will here goes in the second part of the sentence, not in the first plus part. Please note on this example also. If India wins the match, we will party. So in an if sentence, the first part should be in simple present tense. Then the second part will contain will. For example, if he comes tonight, we will go for dinner, right? So if he comes tonight, we will go for dinner. So the second part of the sentence contains will, not the first part. Keep this in mind. So the right answer for this question is A. A is the wrong part of the sentence. The error lies in part A of the sentence. I hope you have understood this. Please see again, I'm telling you, it is an if clause sentence. If she will go abroad next year, we will have the house to ourselves. We cannot use two wills in the sentence. So the first part of the sentence which contains will is wrong, and instead of if she will go, it should simply be if she goes abroad next year. Alright, now let's go for question number 2. The same drill, we have a sentence divided into 4 parts. The first 3 parts are A, B and C. and if all of the parts are correct, then the answer will become no error, which is answer option D. So I'll give you some time, look at the question, and you can also note down the question in your notebook if you want to, and also note down the correct answer. First of all, you post the answer in the comment section. Which part of this sentence is incorrect? So it is time you decide on your next course of action. Look at part A, it is time. Part B, you decide on. Part C, your next course of action. Which part of the sentence is incorrect? Post the answer in the comment section. So in the previous question, most of you got the answer C, which was incorrect. The correct answer for the previous question is A. And note down the right answers also, and you can note down the questions while watching the video, or after the video is complete later on also you can watch the video and note down the questions from there. So it is time you decide on your next course of action. What will be the answer for this question? Students, post the answer quickly. What is the answer? Is it D, A, B, C, or D? Now David says that the answer is D, which is not right. David, you just read the sentence again. Find out what will be the right answer. D is not the correct answer. So that means I'm telling you in advance that there is an error. What is that error? Yeah. So the correct answer is B. B is the part which is wrong. Now let me tell you this once again, that whenever we start a sentence with it is time, it is time, then the second part of the sentence must be in past tense. If the sentence is it is time to, then we can keep the second part in present tense. Keep this in mind. What is the basic rule of English grammar? If we have it is time, as you can see here, it is time, you decide is wrong. It should be you decided. It is time you decided on your next course of action, or it is time you decided your next course of action would be better. So the incorrect part is B here, not A. It is not it is time which is wrong here, it is decide which is wrong. And again, the rule I've given you once again here, that when we start a sentence with it is time, we should follow it with the past tense of a verb. So not decide but decided. For example, we can say it is time we started the class. It is time we did something about this. Okay, so it is time we started the class, not we start the class. It is time we started the class. It is time you decided your next course of action is the right answer. That's question number 2. So I hope you have noted down, and let's move to question number 3 and see what is here. So this is a lengthy sentence, so I'll give you some time here, 20 seconds approximately, to read the sentence and then see what is the right answer. The sentence reads here, the board is not clear who it should blame for our team's failure to meet our client's clearly stated and well documented deadline of 4 days for the completion of the project. So look at each part separately, A, B, C and D, and tell me what will be the right answer for this question. Which part of the sentence is incorrect? If you feel that all the parts A, B, C and D are right, then the answer will be no error, which is E. The board is not clear who it should blame for our team's failure to meet our client's clearly stated and well documented deadline of 4 days for the completion of the project. So what is the right answer here? It's a lengthy sentence. Read it once again. Use the basic concepts of grammar that you know, and based on that basic concept you have to tell what is the right answer. I'm giving you 10 more seconds. Post the correct answer in the comment section. If you have any doubt in any question or the solution of any question, then also you can post in the comment section that can you please discuss this question once again. Question number 3, no one has yet posted the answer. What is the answer for this question? The board is not clear who it should blame for our team's failure to meet our client's clearly stated and well documented deadline of 4 days for the completion of the project. Now again David has posted the answer as E. That's not right. See here, uh, one rule I will give you here. First of all, let me tell you the answer. That's B. B is wrong. And why is B wrong? Because of this who it should blame. Now you see this sentence, who it. Who is who is a relative pronoun, and in relative pronouns we have who and whom, in which who is the nominative case and whom is the accusative case. Nominative means it is the subject of the sentence, the one who does something, and whom is the accusative case. It is the object of the sentence, something which receives the action. The board is blaming someone, right? That someone who is being blamed by the board is a receiver of the action. So it should be in the accusative case, not in the nominative case. So the right answer should be whom it should blame. See, the board is not clear whom it should blame for our team's failure, not who it should blame. And one simple formula I'll give you here that will always help you in questions like these, where you have to decide between who and whom. And that formula is that after who, in normal sentences, most of the indicative sentences, after who, we always use a verb. Whereas in after whom, we use a noun or a pronoun. Noun or pronoun. Also after preposition like to, we use whom, not who. So the moment you see who it here, after who we have it. Now it is a pronoun, that means it is wrong. Because after who what should come? After who verb should come, and after whom what should come? A noun or pronoun should come. We know that it is a pronoun. It is the third person neutral pronoun, right? He and she are masculine and feminine, whereas it is neutral. So whom it should blame. That's why the answer for this question is B. That's question number 3. Let's move on to question number 4, students, and let's discuss this question. Again, so here we have question number 4 for you. So simple one-line sentence. If the police would have worked in time, the riot would not have occurred. And then the last part is no error, which is D. So we have the sentence split into 4 parts, A, B, C, D. You have to find out which part of the sentence is incorrect. Is it A or B or C? So I'll read the sentence for you. If the police would have worked in time, the riot would not have occurred. I'm giving you some time here to read the sentence and post the answer for the comment section. So now you'll be posting the answer for the 4th question. First 3 questions are done. So what is the answer for the 4th question? Read the sentence. It's again an if clause sentence followed by a would have clause. So what is the right answer for this question? If the police would have worked in time, the riot would not have occurred. Now the correct answer for this question is A. A is the incorrect part of the sentence. B, C are correct. A is the one which is incorrect. So what is the rule behind this sentence? If the police would have worked is not right. What should be instead of this is if the police had worked. Now this is what we call as a third conditional in English language, and the structure for the third conditional I'll give you. If followed by a past perfect, comma, followed by would have. The second part of the sentence will contain would have, and the first part will contain past perfect. How do we know that something is in past perfect? It will be had followed by past participle of the verb. Past participle. Now, verbs have four forms. One is a base form, like the verb work. One, it is a continuous form, working. Then we have the past form. The past form of the verb is worked. And then we have the past participle, which is also worked because it's a regular verb, right? Past participle. That's again worked. So this is in same here because it's a regular verb. But sometimes when we have irregular verbs like eat, which becomes eating, then it becomes ate in the past tense, and past participle becomes eaten. That's irregular verbs where past tense is not same as past participle. So the structure of the if clause with in the third conditional is if followed by past perfect, that is had, plus past participle followed by would have. That is why this sentence should be, if the police had worked in time, the riot would, you can see here, would not have occurred. So the second part of the sentence is which will contain would have. In this case it's would not have. Both are correct. Would have or would not have, based on the kind of sentence we have there. Okay, so this is the answer for question number 4. Now we'll move to question number 5. Okay, so here we have again a simple sentence divided into 4 parts, A, B, C, D, and you have to find out which part of the sentence is incorrect. If all the parts are correct, then the answer becomes no error. He took me to a restaurant and ordered for 2 cups of cold coffee, which the waiter brought in an hour. And the last part is no error. So which part of the sentence is wrong? A, B, C, or D? I'm giving you some time to read, note down and understand the question, and then post the answer in the comment section. A, B, C, D. Write that. So right now we have solving for question number 5. First 4 questions are done. So now if you are posting the answer, you will be posting the answer for question number 5. He took me to a restaurant and ordered for 2 cups of cold coffee, which the waiter brought in an hour. And the last part is no error. What will be the answer for this question? Which part of the sentence is incorrect? Look carefully, read once again, and post the answer in the comment section. He took me to a restaurant and ordered for 2 cups of cold coffee, which the waiter brought in an hour, and then we have no error. What is the answer for this question? Is it A, B, C, or D? Now please note the right answer. The right answer is B. B is the one which is wrong. And the mistake here is ordered for. It should not be ordered for. It should simply be ordered 2 cups of coffee. This word for is not required. Now for is a preposition. Now why is it wrong? Because ordered is a transitive verb. There are 2 types of verbs, action verbs that we have in English language, transitive and intransitive. The transitive verbs are ones which take a direct object. For example, I'm writing a letter. So writing is a transitive verb, a letter is the object. There's no preposition in between. There are some verbs which require a preposition. For example, running. He's running in the ground. So in is a preposition. So here the rule that I'm using is that ordered is a transitive verb. It does not require the preposition for, which is why this correct sentence should be that he took me to a restaurant and ordered 2 cups of cold coffee, which the waiter brought in an hour. So you should say, what have you ordered? I have ordered 2 cups of coffee, not I have ordered for 2 cups of coffee. With ordered, we don't need the preposition for. That is your rule that you will write down for the sentence, that wherever we have a transitive verb, if we see a preposition there, then that will be wrong. And if you want to understand about these verbs, then you can go back and watch the grammar videos which I have done earlier, where I've discussed about verbs and different types of verbs in detail. Okay, so he took me to a restaurant and ordered 2 cups of cold coffee, which the waiter brought in an hour. That is the answer for question number 5. So now, students, I'm moving to question number 6. This question is done, and the right answer for this question is B. The B part of the sentence is incorrect. All right, let's look at question number 7. So 5 and 6 were repeated, so I'm just moving to question number 7 directly. Simpler question here. Both the rich along with the poor are responsible for a great many vices with which our country is inflicted. No error. Which part of the sentence is grammatically wrong? Right now we are on question number 7. Both the rich along with the poor are responsible for a great many vices with which our country is inflicted. Inflicted means suffering, and vices means problems. A great many problems with which our country is inflicted. What is the right answer for this question? Is it A, B, C, or D? Which part is wrong? So read the question. I'm giving you some time here. Read the question quickly, post your answers also quickly, so that we can cover more number of questions in each session. Okay, if you want to note down the question or any additional detail, or if you miss it out while I'm discussing and I move on to the next question, you can always come back and re-watch the video and note the things that you want to note later also. So in the class, you should focus a lot on just following the class, looking at the questions and interacting with your answers. If there's any doubt in any part, if you feel that there's something wrong, or any other part of the sentence is also wrong, which you have some confusion with, then you can always discuss with me through the comments in the comment section. Both the rich along with the poor are responsible for a great many vices with which our country is inflicted. What is the right answer for this question? Both the rich along with the poor. Which part is wrong? Okay, let's see here. Students, now please note down the correct answer. The correct answer is B. B is the one which is wrong. And why is it wrong? Because here we are using both, and along with both, we should not use along. Okay, so with both, we don't say along, we say and. So along is wrong and will be correct. Both the rich and the poor, not along with is also not required. Okay, both the rich and the poor are responsible for a great many vices. So with both, we don't use along, we use and. Okay, both the rich and the poor are responsible for a great many vices with which our country is inflicted. So the correct answer for question number 7 is B. Instead of along with, we should have and there. That's the thing. Both the rich and the poor are responsible for. So always remember this, that along with both, we always use and, not along with. This word along with is not used with both. That is the thing to remember from question number 7. Okay, now let's move to question number 8, students. Look at the question here. While deforestation provides for paper and farmland, afforestation has been securing the ecological balance of the planet. So afforestation is the opposite of deforestation. Deforestation means cutting down trees, and afforestation means planting trees. So while deforestation provides for more paper and farmland, afforestation has been securing the ecological balance of the planet. A sentence is split into 4 parts, A, B, C, D. If all the 4 parts are correct, then your answer will become E, which is no error. I'm giving you some time to read and look at now. Please see that we have moved on to question number 8. So right now we're discussing the answer for 8. So if you're going to post the answer option in the comment section, it will be for question number 8. While deforestation provides for more paper and farmland, What you could do, students, is when you're posting the answer, you can also post the question number. For example, if you're posting the answer for question number 8, please post the answer as 8A or B or C, like that. Okay, so put the question number along with your answer so that I can understand you're posting the answer for which question. Okay, so while deforestation provides for more paper and farmland, afforestation has been securing the ecological balance of the planet. So if you're posting your answer, post the question number also. For example, Sukesh has posted the answer as C. Suppose it is 8C. So I'll know that, okay, this is the answer for question number 8. The correct answer for this question is C. C is where we have the mistake. While deforestation provides. So when we start a sentence with while, and I'm comparing one aspect here, deforestation, and the verb along with that is provides, and there's a comma here, the next part of the sentence should be parallel with the first part. Now if this part is afforestation, then just like we have provides here, this has been securing will be wrong and it should be replaced with secures. Okay, so you can see here the verb provides in the first part of the sentence along with while is now parallel with the verb secures in the second part of the sentence. So while deforestation provides for more paper and farmland, afforestation secures. So this we should always keep in mind that whenever we have a comparison in the first part, there's a comma and then we have another part of the sentence, both the parts must be parallel. Parallel means they should have the same structure. Deforestation is a noun followed by a singular verb provides. Afforestation is also a noun followed by a singular verb secures. That's question number 8. So now I'm moving on to question number 9. Let's look at question number 9 here. So now if you are solving question number 9, you're going to post the answer for question number 9. Write down the question number along with your answer, like 9A, 9B, 9C or 9D. If you see that there is no error, then you can say 9E. So the answer for question number 9 would be, according to that we'll see, and how many of you have got it right. For example, previous question, Sukesh and Intellectual Impala has got the answer correct. That's 8C and 8C. So here question number 9 we have, the 6 partners are at loggerheads, so they do not talk to each other. No error. What is the right answer for this question? Giving some more time, 10 seconds to solve. It's a very simple one-line sentence. It will not take any time to read. If your grammar concepts are strong, you will be able to solve and get the answers. If you feel there's some doubt in the question, you can note down the part which I discussed, like what is the error in the sentence. The 6 partners are at loggerheads, so they do not talk to each other. What is the answer, students, here? At loggerheads means they are fighting with each other. They don't have a very cordial relationship. At loggerheads or at daggers drawn. That's also a phrase. At daggers drawn means, again, that means they are enemies. They are not in good terms. So the 6 partners. So look at the first part of the sentence. The 6 partners. There's nothing wrong with that. R is also right because R is plural. We have 6 partners. At loggerheads is also the right way of using the idiom at loggerheads. So is okay. They, so we are talking about 6 partners, so that is plural. So they is also right here. Okay. Do not talk, that's also fine. To each other. Now what is the mistake here is each other. Each other is wrong. It should be one another. Please understand, when you have these 2 phrases, one is each other and one is one another. When do we use each other and when do we use one another? Each other is used when we're talking about 2 persons. Only talking about 2 persons. Let's say, for example, John and Mark should help each other. When we talk about more than two persons, we use one another. More than two persons. A very basic usage of English language, but most people don't know this. And when do we use each other and when do we use one another? More than two persons. So please note it down. This part you can note down. When to use each other and when to use one another. Each other is used when you're talking about two persons. For example, Ram and Shyam should help each other. Ram and Shyam should look after each other. Right? So that's Ram and Shyam should look after each other. But if you say Ram, Shyam and Mohan should look after one another. That's how we write here. So this is why we say the answer is D. So that's question number 9. So 9, the answer is D. We have moved on to the 9th question. We have completed the 9th question. Now we'll be going to the 10th question. So students, now you will be reading the 10th question on the screen and you'll be posting the answer for the 10th question. Okay. I hope you have noted down this difference between each other and one another. So here we have the 10th question. I'm sure you should be able to get the answer for this question. No sooner did we find out a solution to the problem when another problem cropped up. Cropped up means it came up. Okay. No sooner did we find out a solution to the problem when another problem cropped up. What is the answer for question number 10? You're going to post the answer along with the question number, and when I discuss some concept attached to this question, then you'll note it down also. No sooner did we find out a solution to the problem when another problem cropped up. What will be the right answer for this question? Is it A, B, C or D? Look at the usage of no sooner and try to recall what do we use with no sooner. Do you know the structure of how to use no sooner in a question? Students, we are on question number 10 right now. I hope you all are looking at question number 10. It's a very simple sentence. Read the sentence quickly. And I've already given to you hints that look at no sooner and think about what should come along with no sooner in the sentence. Question number 10, what is the right answer? Post the answer quickly in the comment section. Also, if you have any doubt regarding any question or any part of the discussion in the class, you can post that also in the comment section. Friends, what is the answer for question number 10? No sooner did we find out a solution to the problem when another problem cropped up. Is it A, B, C or D, or is the answer E, that is no error? Answer for question number 10. Right, question number 10, the correct answer is D. So as Sukesh has got, David has got the answer, D is right. And the reasoning also is correct, David, that it should not be when here. Instead of when, it should be than. With no sooner in a sentence, we don't already know, please note it down. With no sooner in a sentence, we always use than. Also focus on this auxiliary verb is placed before the subject, which is correct in part A. Auxiliary verb will always come before the subject in this kind of a structure. No sooner did we find out a solution to the problem than another problem cropped up. So with no sooner we use than, whereas with barely and scarcely, if we have barely or scarcely, we use when. So when is used along with barely and scarcely, not with no sooner. So no sooner did we find out a solution to the problem than another problem cropped up. It's a very, very important question, has come in exams a number of times before. No sooner did we find out a solution to the problem than. So looking for no sooner, along with no sooner we should always have than, whereas with barely, scarcely, rarely, these kind of structures we use when in the later part of the sentence. Okay, all right, question number 10 is done. I hope you have noted down this thing. Then let's move on to question number 11. Now look at this question here. Though all competitive exams do not allow using a calculator, but where they are permitted, there are restrictions on the models allowed. Slightly lengthy as a sentence. The sentence is split into 4 parts: A, B, C, and D. And then the 5th part is no error. So read the question. So students, right now we are on question number 11. So if you're going to post the answer for this question, you'll post the answer as 11A, 11B, 11C, or 11D. Or if you feel that there is no error in the sentence, you can post the answer as 11E. 11A, 11B, 11C, 11D. What is the right answer for question number 11? Very simple sentence. Read it once and I'm sure you will be able to spot the error. Though all competitive exams do not allow using a calculator, where they are permitted, there are restrictions on the models allowed. What is the answer for question number 11? Since post the answer quickly, no need to note down the entire question. You can do that later while watching the video again if you want to. And here, just read the question and post the answer options in the comment section. And if there's something to note down, some things that we're discussing in the class, then you can post the answer. Okay. So there can be two answers here. Now let's discuss both the answers here. Okay, we can have the answer as B, or we can also say the answer is C. And then based on the then we'll decide on what is the right answer. You can yourself tell me. So though all competitive exams, so there's nothing wrong with this part. A is correct. Okay, there's nothing wrong with A. Though all competitive exams do not allow, so do not allow is right, using a calculator. Now the problem is with this a calculator. Why? Because the later part of the sentence we see here, but where they are. So because a calculator is singular, we should say but where it is permitted, there are restrictions on the models allowed. Okay, so that's why you can say the answer is either B. So instead of a calculator, what we should have here is calculators. Now if you look at the sentence, it's better to keep it as calculators rather than a calculator. Okay, although I can correct the sentence in both the ways, it would make more sense to think of it as calculators rather than saying a calculator, which is why I'm saying that the answer to this question should actually be B. That though all competitive exams do not allow using calculators, but where they are allowed. Okay, they are here, so refers to the plural calculators. Where they are allowed, there are restrictions on the models allowed. So although I can correct it in both ways, where it is permitted, there are restrictions on the models allowed. But in general sense, it makes more it looks more sensible, meaningful, and complete when we use the word calculators instead of a calculator. Therefore we say the answer for this question is B. Otherwise we can also say that the answer is C. That's the question number 11 here. So I hope you all have solved and understood what this question is about. Now move on to the next question. That's 13. So 11 and 12 are repeated, so I'm just skipping out 12 and I'm going to question number 13 here. People should know that Sachin Tendulkar, the legendary cricketer, used to be the first person to arrive in the nets for practice. And then we should add one more part here, which is no error. In case the remaining 4 parts are right, the correct answer will become no error, that is E. People should know that Sachin Tendulkar, the legendary cricketer, used to be the first person to arrive in the nets for practice. Students, we are right now on question number 13. So if you are looking at question number 13 and solving and posting the answer, post the question number along with the answer. So what is the answer for question number 13? A very simple sentence here. People should know that Sachin Tendulkar, the legendary cricketer, used to be the first person to arrive in the nets for practice. Look at each part and start solving each part separately. Look at part A and then decide, is there anything wrong with A? If there's nothing wrong, okay, A is correct, go to B now. And then same thing with C and D. I'm giving you again 10 seconds more to read this question and post the answer. Post the answer quickly. Don't try to note down the entire question because that will take up a lot of time. Just post the answer option in the comment section along with the question number, and when I discuss the solution, you can note down the solution. Question number 13. Right now we're looking at question number 13 here. Now, why should we need everybody? Now, two of you are saying that it should be A, 13th answer is A, everybody should know. But what is wrong with people should know? There's nothing grammatically wrong with people should know, right? So try to read the remaining part and see what else could be a problem. There's nothing wrong. Okay, it will look better if I say everybody should know that. But that would again make that it's compulsory for everyone. Why should everyone know? I think most people who follow Sachin Tendulkar should know that, right? Why should everybody know? So people should know that is a better way and more meaningful in this case. So answer is definitely not A. Now look at part B, C and D. A is correct. People should know that Sachin Tendulkar is perfectly right. There's nothing wrong with that, and we don't need to use everybody in that sentence. A is not the answer. Look at B, C and D. Observe carefully. Look at B, the legendary cricketer. Does it sound wrong to you? No, not at all. So B is perfectly right. Then go to C. Used to be the first person. Does it sound grammatically wrong to you? Not at all. Used to be, along with used we say to. For example, I say I used to live in Bangalore, or I used to live in that city. So used to be the first person. Again, that's right. Article the is there. First person. So C is right. The correct answer here is D. So 13th, the wrong part is D. What is the mistake in part D? That is where it all becomes very interesting. The mistake in part D is in the nets is wrong. It should be at the nets, because you're talking about a particular position, a location. We don't use in such cases. We use at. Again, a question based on usage of prepositions like at, in, on, into. So you should have a more in-depth understanding of when do we use the. I'll give you the list of prepositions that you should work out: at, in, on, and into. So I'm right now not discussing the theory part of prepositions. Maybe I'll do it later, but it's very important for you to know the difference between at, in, on, and into. Also, you should know the difference between since and for. So these are also two prepositions that we often see in exams. We see beside and besides, beside and besides. So this difference between these two is something that we often see in exams. So I've given you a list of some of the very important prepositions that come in exams repeatedly. And in this question, the answer is D, because it's not to arrive in the nets, it's to arrive at the nets, because nets is a place, it's a location, it's an address, it's something like that. We say at the nets, not in the nets. That's question number 13. Now look at question number 14. Now this is an advanced level difficulty question, which is based on the previous CAT paper. So in CAT, a lot of questions have come from grammar year on year, and I've taken two questions here to discuss from this examination. So here we have 5 sentences, A, B, C, D, E, and you have to find out, identify the sentence or parts of the sentences are correct in terms of grammar. Actually, you have to not forget the directions here. What you have to do is find out which sentences are correct. Find out. So you have to find the correct sentences. Okay, for question 14, you leave it out. The what you have to do is find the correct sentences. 5 sentences are there. Some of the sentences may be grammatically incorrect. There's something wrong with the sentence. So eliminate those sentences which are grammatically wrong and pick out for me the sentences which are grammatically correct. 5 sentences are there in one question. When I returned to home, I began to read. Actually, it should be read here. D is missing. That is a typing error. Okay. When I returned to home, I began to read everything I could get my hand on about Israel. The same year, Israel's Jewish agency sent a Saliach, a sort of recruiter, to Minneapolis. I became one of his most active devotees. So we have to find out which of these sentences is correct. if you look at answer option 1, so sometimes we use the answer options also here. One of the techniques, very useful technique, is to look at the answer option. If you look at answer option 1, it contains E. Answer option 3 also contains E, and answer option 5 contains E, and answer option 4 contains E. Similarly, answer option 1, 2, 4 and 5 all contain C. So what we look at is C and E first. So you look at E, I became one of his most active devotees. So this part of the sentence is perfectly right. So that means E is the correct sentence. So answer cannot be 2, which is C only. Okay. Now, if you look at C now, that same year, Israel's Jewish agency sent. So Israel's is the correct way of writing apostrophe S here. Jewish agency sent is also right. It's the past tense. So C is right. So answer cannot be 3, which is E only. Now we have C and E in the first answer option, C and E in the fourth answer option, and C and E in the fifth answer option. So in all of these 3 answer options we have C and E. So all I have to do now is think about, are only C and E correct, or can we have B and D along with it? So now let's look at B. Everything I could get my hand on is not right. Everything I could get my hands on should be the right way. So B is wrong. So that means fourth answer option is gone. Now we only left with C and E, C, D and E. That means A is definitely wrong. It is not there in any of the answer options. The problem with A is I returned to home is not required. I returned home is correct way. So again, returned is a transitive verb here. So when I returned home, I began to read is the, so A and B are definitely wrong. C and E are definitely right. Now only thing left now is whether D is right or not. So D is wrong, and the correct answer is 1, which is C and E. Now let's look at why D is wrong here. A salyach is, if you don't know the meaning of salyach, it's not at all a problem. Just right here, when you're defining something, put a comma here. Okay, that's the first thing. Second is a sort of a recruiter. The article a is missing here, because recruiter is a noun. We need an article before it. Articles, we should know about articles a and the article the. So many questions have come in exams before based on articles. So D is wrong, which is why answer option 5 is out, and we are left with answer option 1, that is C and E. C is right and E is right. That's your question number 14. So this is done. So students, I'm moving to now to question 15. Let's look at question 15. Again, you have to find out the correct sentences. Find the correct sentence. So I'll solve this question quickly for you because you're already running late here. So let's look at the answer options. I'll teach you how to use the answer options. We have E in 1 and 2 and 3. So first let's look at E. In the longer term. In the longer term is not right. It should be in the long term. So that means first, second and fourth are anyhow gone. Now we are left with C and D and B only. Now look at C here. Okay, so we have C and D. Out of slump is not right. Slump is a noun, so it should be out of the slump. And assuming itself means hypothetically, so we don't need hypothetically here. So 3 is also gone. So correct answer is 5, which is B only. All other sentences are wrong. Why is A wrong? So once an economy is actually into a recession, in is wrong here. It should be into a recession. But without solving, also we could have told that the answer by elimination method. So except B, all these sentences are wrong. A, C, D, E, all of these sentences are wrong. That's question number 15 for you. So these are 2 advanced questions from CAT, which is considered as one of the tougher examinations from verbal ability. So let's look at one more question and then we'll wind up this session and give you a break for 10 minutes to be ready for the next class, which starts at 11:30. Again, the same thing we have to do here. Find the correct sentences. Find the correct sentences. So right now we are on question number 16. Let's look at this question. It is sometimes told that is wrong. It should be sometimes said that. So A is wrong. So this option goes off. Now we have B, B, B in 3 sentences. And B is definitely right. You can look at that also. You can understand. Now we have D in 3 of them. In truth, however, this is an unhelpful assertion. Sounds perfectly right. So D is correct. So 4th is gone. And 5th is gone because we know B is correct. So answer is either 2 or 3. So between 2 and 3, we will only check C. Governments originated in the city-states of ancient Greeks. Democratic ideals have been handed to us is wrong. This part is wrong. Handed to us is wrong. Handed down to us. Democratic ideals have been handed down to us should be the right way of presenting the answer. Handed down to us from that time. So C is wrong, and which leaves us with answer option 3, B and D. So except B and D, all other sentences are wrong. We don't even have to check for E here because we always use the elimination technique in these advanced kind of questions. So the answer for 16th question is 3, B and D. So since we'll take a break now for 10 minutes, so thank you for joining with me for this session. The next session, that will be for vocabulary questions, some of the advanced questions on vocabulary that I'll discuss with you, different types of questions. We'll start that at 11:30. So I'm giving you a break of 10 minutes. So thank you for now, and join me with me for the next session at 11:30. Thank you.